Peace, y'all, and welcome back to another reading. You already know the vibes, divine destiny. So we're just gonna jump right in it. We're gonna breathe and tune in with spirit real quick. At this time, calling forth my spirit guides, angels, and ancestors, asking you what messages you have to deliver to the collective today for their progression and elevation in every aspect of life. Giving you gratitude for these messages, asking you to shield, cloak, protect, and cover me as I channel these messages today. Many blessings I am thankful. Amen. Sure. We're going to start with these cards. Okay, so this might be a little bit of a longer reading because I've been doing 2 decks and we're getting into all 3 today. This is the 8 of Diamonds. Take it slow, put in the work, surprise, romance, and travel. This is the 7 of Hearts, broken promises and illusions. Ooh. And I have the King of Clubs, loyal and kind, devoted father figure, financial success, selfish and passionate. And that came out with the 6 of Diamonds, relationship troubles, confusion, lose the leeches, and decisive action. Ooh. Bottom of the deck energy is truth and confirmation. Heed the messages. Loss and grief and clouded judgment with the 7 of Spades. We need some oracle. Take it slow. 8 of Diamonds, Spirit. 8 of Diamonds, take it slow, is coming out with the accelerated motion. 8 could be significant here. The solar plexus. Disruption, the Tower. I was holding it in my hand in reverse, so that's how I'm gonna take it. And prosperity begins. So what I'm getting from this with this take it slow, put in the work, surprise, romance, and travel, is Spirit is saying just that. Like right now, you might feel like you are in a pause of some kind. You might feel like there is no motion or slow motion, and Spirit is saying that this is for a reason, right? This is with intention. This is so you can take a pause, you can take a breath, you can take a beat, right? Because with this accelerated motion card, it's like things are going to start picking up, right? Especially here with this put in work card, right? So you've been putting in the work, you've been doing the things, and it's almost like maybe you feel at this point like things have come to a plateau, just like a pause, a space of stagnation. And Spirit is saying that this is like what I'm hearing is the final push, right? So if you have had a child or you witnessed somebody have a child, right? There's like that final push that occurs, and it's like before you can push it out, it being the baby, before you can push your child out, they tell you like you're supposed to take a moment of pause before that final push, just so that like your body can open up and like adjust and rest into the shift that is literally about to happen, right? And so that's what I'm hearing in my head with this, is like you're coming up to that final push to like birth whatever this is that you've been working on. 444 on my timer, right? Something that's going to really create stability for you. So Spirit is saying, with that being said, like rest in this pause, because when you take that final push, push and you really step into it, things are going to pick up for you quickly, right? This could be in romance. This could be travel and movement. This could be travel and movement, right? So maybe you are starting to like travel for work, or maybe you're just picking up, and maybe I don't know what the travel is significant here. Yeah, with this solar plexus chakra, spirit is asking you to stand in your authenticity, stand in your power, stand in your confidence, stand in your awareness that you are divinely guided and divinely protected, and that guidance has brought you up into this moment of pause, right? And that guidance is going to guide you out when you hit that final push. And that's coming out with the Tower in reverse, disruption in reverse, right? So it's almost like, just know, right? Like, you're here at 5-5 on my timer. You're here sitting in this moment of pause, and when you hit that last push, because it's almost like that last push is inevitable, like baby coming regardless, right? We're birthing this thing regardless, whether this is a spiritual baby, a physical baby, or a creation of some kind, whatever it is that you've been incubating, okay, for this long, is coming out. And with this disruption in reverse, it's like this is going to cause some like upheaval. This is going to cause disruption in your life, which is why spirit is asking you to be grounded, stay connected to yourself, right? To your self-assurance, to your inner power. And when I say some kind of disruption, I mean this feels like good disruption, right? This is coming out with the prosperity begins for you. So this is like things raining in, and you won't have to stay grounded within yourself, because things are going to be asking of you in an accelerated motion, right? Things are going to be asking you to choose and make movement and make decisions, and pulling you in different directions, whether this be work or romance or just personal life, right? These things are going to start picking up for you, right? What it is that you've been working on, the seed that you have planted, that's a big seed, right? These are some sturdy roots, okay? And it has grown this beautiful, prosperous tree. And not only is your tree fruitful, you see this big ass fruit falling from the sky. Spirit is doubling down, tripling down, 10 times, tenfold over the prosperity and the blessings that are coming to you at an accelerated motion. So be aware, okay, that this is gonna shake some things up for you. And spirit is saying, stand in your light, honor yourself, right? Lean into your light, allow it to guide you with this final push. And like, if we're really looking at the baby analogy, when you come from the birth canal out into the world, you meet the light for the first time. This is you meeting yourself for the first time, for real. So do it with grace. Do it with patience. Do it with acceptance. Do it with love. We're looking here at this broken promises and illusions. This is the 7 of Hearts here. And this came out with the... You might be seeing 9-9. And 6-6 is significant, okay? It's coming out with the suffering and silence and the solitude card, right? So this moment of pause is also for you to take these this time of reflection, right? This time of reconnection with yourself, right? Taking into account the broken promises, the illusions that have been spun around you, right? Toward you. And spirit is saying we're moving past those things, right? The things that had you mentally and emotionally stuck, isolated, even though you might be around people, right? The illusion of isolation was there, or the feeling of isolation, because it just wasn't for you. And so spirit is encouraging you to move on. Maybe you've already done the moving on, right? And you're in this place of pause, in this place of reflection. 929 on my timer. And so spirit is saying, really allow yourself to rest in this space, and know that the movement that you made, the choice that you made, the decision that you made to move on was ultimately allowing you to move further into your light, which is allowing these blessings, this prosperity to open up to you at this time, right? The third eye chakra came out in reverse, but I'm going to take it upright. I'm saying that it came out in reverse being significant because it's out here with the illusions card, right? And your third eye chakra is the mind, the mental, the spiritual, right? And so there were definitely energies spinning illusions around you, or you allowed yourself to sit in an illusion of isolation, right? Of suffering. People were casting illusions of suffering, and that's what you're stepping out of, right? That's what this tower is breaking down. So maybe you've already moved out of the situations that had you suffering in silence. You've already said your piece and moved out of this space of solitude, of illusion, of suffering, right? Of broken promises, because you've been guided out of it. And Spirit is saying, yeah, so basically this pause is allowing you to break down or dismantle anything mentally, emotionally, spiritually, even with this third eye, that the remnants of those broken promises and illusions, that's what's being cleared out in this space of pause, right? So when you bust into the light, when you birth whatever this is, even if this is yourself, 1111 on my timer with the shadows on the bottom, right? Even if this is yourself that you are reclaiming, stepping into a whole new version of yourself, right? We're in this space of pause so that we can really recognize, analyze, and accept our shadows for what they are, right? Embrace them for the truths that they reveal to us about ourselves, about the world around us, right? And really learn how to integrate those lessons that we learned in those moments that had us feeling isolated, that had us suffering in silence, had us in illusion and broken promises, cycles of this, right? Whatever it is that you're dismantling right now, so that you can turn your third eye back into focus, back into alignment. That's what you're doing right now. So really allow yourself, once again, grace and peace and patience as you reflect, because it's feeling like a very reflective period. And that's coming under rest, and rejuvenation is coming under that, right? So definitely you're in this period of rest and rejuvenation, healing from whatever deception, whatever envy, whatever kind of deceit occurred, because it was trying to, with the destiny in reverse, whatever this broken promise or illusion energy was trying to keep you from recognizing your destiny, from realizing your own destiny, right? Your own inner power, your own inner light, as we saw earlier. Whether consciously or subconsciously, that's exactly what this energy was doing, right? And everything is spiritual. So the energies on this energies, and I'm looking here at this King of Clovers, and I'm reading this two ways, okay? Because the King of Clubs, because clovers could be significant though. The King of Clubs can be like very stable, very devoted, right? But he can also be like selfish and controlling. So I'm reading this in two ways, and this doesn't have to be masculine. We're here looking at the King, which is like a dominant, assertive energy, and it's usually masculine energy, right? And so it's almost like with this King of Clubs and the Six of Diamonds coming out, relationship troubles, confusion, lose the leashes, and decisive action, right? And so it's like you're taking decisive action to walk away from the controlling, the overbearing, the overstepping, the aggressive, right? The assertive in a negative way kind of energies, the selfish, self-serving kind of energies, right? And in doing so, you're in taking that decisive action, you are becoming that King of Clubs yourself, but you're becoming that radiant light body energy of the King of Clubs, right? Two sides of the same coin. So man or woman, masculine or feminine energy, you're stepping into this King of Clubs energy because you released the shadow version of the King of Clubs, right? So there was an energy in your life that was reflecting that shadow side of the King of Clubs energy, that controlling, that overbearing, that obsessive, that selfish energy, spinning illusions and deceit, right? Conjuring up envy, right? So with that being said, because you chose to move away from this energy in whatever way, shape, or form this energy showed up for you in your life, you overcame that shadow. That was a shadow version of you, that was just a reflection of you, or the parts within yourself that were allowing that energy into your life. And because you chose to recognize and work with this shadow and honor this shadow and accept this shadow, instead of turning this shadow away or just like being consumed by this shadow, right? You turned that King of Clubs energy upright, and you are standing in that 1515 on my time. Now let's keep going, Spirit. And that is being clarified by the crown chakra. Okay, so we got a chakra in every one of these, right? So I would definitely say it's time to, and bottom of that energy is base chakra as well. It's definitely time to do some chakra tuning, aligning, whether you're listening to like subliminals or frequencies that do that, right? Meditation, breath work to specifically do that, whatever it works, whatever it is for you that you're doing to align those chakras, align those frequencies. I would definitely say stepping out of whatever it is that you stepped out of, it would benefit you to do a clearing, a cleansing, a tune-up for your chakras of some kind. And I feel like I'm hearing it would also help this accelerated motion occur faster, right? There are some blockages, right, with this third eye that came up in reverse. There are some blockages just within the energy field that are not your own. So clearing and cleansing them out would help you greatly, and would help you really attract what it is that you're already calling into yourself at a quicker pace, right? So with this crown chakra, Spirit is asking you to pay attention to your guidance, which is something I feel like you're already doing, right? Moving out of this, you're stepping out of your shadows, you're stepping into your light, you're honoring yourself more out there. So with that crown chakra, I'm hearing specifically in partnerships and alliances, because there are definitely people, energies, partnerships, and alliances. This says surprise romance, right? So I would not be surprised if for some of this was in relationships, and Spirit is saying, right, do not allow yourself to be closed off because of those past illusions and cycles. You've already stepped out of those energies. You're no longer those energies. You're no longer attracting those energies, right? And so it is safe for you to move into new partnerships, new alliances, new relationships, and they're telling you to do so following the same guidance that led you into this space of self-confidence, self-awareness, and self-love that you're sitting at, right? Self-actualization that you're sitting in right now, right? Listen to that same guidance, because it's going to continue to steer you in the right direction, and it's guiding you toward people and energies that are here to bring you harmony, balance, peace, that are here to help you step into the energy of recognition and reward. They're also here to recognize and reward you. That's also Spirit saying that they're recognizing and rewarding you for the movement, for the growth, for the elevation, for the change, for the shift, for just the self-reflection that you have allowed yourself to sit in enough to come to this place of growth, of shift, of movement, right? So they are recognizing and rewarding you as well. And that's what this tenfold juicy peaches that's falling from the sky kind of energy is coming from, because Spirit sees the work that you're putting in, so they are going to bless you as well. So they're asking you to remain grounded here with this base chakra energy, right? Stay grounded in your own energy, in your own truth, in your own work, in what it is you know is growing and working for you, and keep moving in that. Don't allow anybody or anything to try to spin illusions. Don't accept broken promises anymore, because you no longer align with that frequency, so you don't have to accept that energy, right? Anything that is causing confusion is not of the Most High, because the Most High don't work in confusion or illusion. If the Most High sent it into your life, it's coming with clarity, surety. So we're back over here with the take and slow and put in the work, surprise, romance, and travel, right? And we're clarifying this with the tarot, and this is coming out to be clarified with the King of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords. I find it interesting that the Queen of Swords back is facing the King of Pentacles. I feel like this is doubling down because the King of Pentacles gives me that King of Clubs energy. So I feel like this is doubling down on you being decisive and taking action and turning your back on anything or anyone that was trying to control, manipulate, hoard, harbor, or siphon your energy in any way, shape, or form, right? Being decisive and turning your back on that, moving forward with that decisive action, and not allowing yourself to get in your head with the Eight of Swords in reverse, allowing whatever mental or emotional games or cycles or illusions were spun in within your life toward you or upon you, right? Allow those things to fall away. And Spirit is saying, right, with this Queen of Swords, she was facing the Eight of Swords. Spirit is really saying, like, do your own spiritual cutting. Maybe a cord cutting is necessary. It could be like for certain thoughts or habits that you find yourself facing. At this point, I'm being called to share, like, when I 2111 on my timer, when I find myself back in a cycle or a loop of lack, of scarcity, of unworthiness, right, of people pleaser, of doubt, of worry, of anxiety, whatever it is mentally that I find myself like cycling back to, I make it a point in that moment to say no. This isn't even on the same timeline. This is that shadow trying to creep back up. Shadow, we told you you need to sit in the back seat. You can roll with us, but like, be quiet. I'm the light and I'm standing in the front seat now. So like, just stay back there. You're happy you're in the car at this point. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what Spirit is saying. You have to retrain yourself mentally, because when people spend illusions, this is mental magic. Illusions, broken promises, manipulation, deception, like, that's mental magic. So that can really shift how you feel and think about yourself without you even, like, on a subconscious level. And so Spirit is saying, when you find yourself in those loops, 222 on my timer, 2222. Anyway, 222. Spirit is saying, when you find yourself in those loops at this time, really make it a point to cut it off. That is not, the thought doesn't align with the vibration and the frequency that I'm on at this point. That thought can't go with me. I moved past that, and that is just a remnant of a different timeline, a different version of myself, and I no longer accept that within myself. Whatever it is that you have to say, if you have to create a completely new thought in exchange, then do that. Okay, we're moving forward with the broken promises and illusions. This is the Three of Cups with the Ace of Cups coming out. So definitely somebody could have had you in a romantic situation, relationship, and they were deceptive or not truthful about how many people were in that relationship. Okay, whether they were in the relationship with you, or they weren't in the relationship with you, or they had another relationship somewhere else. Whatever the dynamics are, right, it was just somebody was not truthful in relation to your heart, your emotions, your feelings. And Spirit is saying you are safe to move past that, right? With this Hermit card, this is still that same energy of isolation with the Four of Pentacles coming out in reverse. So Spirit is saying not to harbor the feelings and the emotions within yourself because of this deceptive energy, right? Because of, maybe there's some envy because it was like third party pinning against, what's that that narcissistic tactic where, like, triangulation, right? Maybe there was some triangulation going on. So Spirit is saying, especially with this closing the laptop on the Hermit card, I feel like that's significant. Allow yourself to sign off, allow yourself to log off, allow yourself to disconnect for real from whatever this is. Like, stop watching, stop checking, stop looking, stop lurking. I don't know who needs to hear that with this Nine of Swords in reverse coming out with the Four of Swords, right? This is supposed to be that energy of rest and relaxation. And so Spirit is saying not to allow yourself to sit up in anxiety or unworthiness or hoarding onto the emotions and the feelings of a situation that honestly aren't yours. Right? They were projected upon you. So allow yourself that Eight of Swords in reverse, that Queen of Swords, cut that shit. It ain't no to cut that shit up. Okay, but it is something to cut that shit off. And so Spirit is saying allow yourself to the grace to do it. Just make sure that you are doing it actively and intentionally every time that cycle pops up for you, right? With the World card here, because the world is in your hands. The cycle is shifting for you because you took the step to shift that energy within yourself. You kept going, you kept moving forward, you kept growing, you kept working on you kept doing the things, whatever it was, despite the broken promises, despite the illusions, despite the confusion, the deception, right? And so Spirit is saying because of that, you are stepping into a whole new energy. So there's no need for you to hold on to the baggage, right? Nine of Wands coming out in reverse. Once again, let go. Let it go. The baggage, the hurt, the pain, right? The trauma of it all. You're safe to release that. And I know that it's easier said than done to say like, oh, release your trauma, release your pain, release your baggage. But Spirit is saying for real, like this is the wounded warrior, right? The Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. You've been through the things, you've been through the thick of it. And here it's like you're holding on to still all of those baggage, all of that burden of it all, like it's weighing you down still. This person can't go anywhere because they got to pick up all these sticks. This is the card before the Ten of Wands. If you know tarot, the Ten of Wands is literally somebody collecting all their sticks, dragging them around, like struggling to move forward because they have to carry all of this baggage. And so with these Nine of Wands coming in reverse, Spirit is saying release the baggage so you don't become the person who is dragging the sticks, right? Stop holding on to, harboring and hoarding the pain of it all, right? Yes, move with that. And this is coming out clarifying that crown chakra energy. So move with the knowledge, move with the wisdom, move with the discernment it is that you gain from these situations and experiences. But to hold on to the pain, to the trauma of it all is absolutely a choice, and it is doing nothing but weighing you down. Coming out with the Hanged One in reverse, right? So that is saying like untie yourself from the tree and from literally from that last one. Untangle yourself, because the Three of Wands, your ships are coming in. And look at how many, this is the wisdom, this is the knowledge, this is the discernment. That's all she got, right? So look at how many less of the burdens she's holding on to. And look at how many ships are coming in. Do you feel me? It's almost like you have to make space mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and energetically, even coming out with the Lovers here. Yeah, for love. And that's being clarified with the partnerships, alliances, and harmonies. So this is definitely heavy on relationships. But if this is not a romantic relationship for you, this is just love in every sense of the word. This is peaches falling from the sky. Okay, Spirit is trying to love you and reward you and honor you and gift to you for, with the Star card coming out here, for doing the healing work, for nurturing yourself, right? For nurturing those shadow parts, for nurturing the sands of life that was just a little dry, fertilizing what it is you felt in your spirit needed and wanted to grow. And so for this, Spirit is trying to gift you with a cup that bubbleth over at this point. But you have to be willing and open to allowing yourself to move into those blessings and really receive them. And it happens by releasing those burdens, releasing the pain, releasing the trauma. It's giving like heavy forgiveness energy, and recognizing that forgiveness is not for the person you're forgiving, it's for you. You can forgive somebody and never have said it out loud to their face. They can never know. You can never have contact with that person again. But in your heart, you forgive yourself for being in that situation. You forgive yourself for not knowing better. You know better now. You forgive that person that experienced that situation, and you really allow yourself to release it. And that's going to take time. Maybe write it down and burn it. Write a letter and burn it. Whatever it is that you need to do to like purge and cleanse and clear that energy out of yourself, that's like healing and intentional, obviously. Spirit is saying do that so you can get unstuck. Yeah, because there are a lot of choices, there are a lot of decisions that you can make at this time. So are you making them from a place of fear, of harboring past energies? Are you making them from a wounded and traumatized space? Or are you making it from an abundant and fertile and intentional space? Let's get final messages, Spirit. Final messages. Trapped in fear, power, and transformation coming out. Once again, 88 is significant. 888, that's 8888 out here, right? So Spirit is encouraging you not to be trapped in fear. There is no lock on this gate. This person can get up, get their head out their hand, right? And make a plan to make movement, to push the gate open, right? But they're so trapped in their mind, in their fear, in the illusions of it all, and the broken promises of it all, and the pain of the deceit and the envy and the heartache and the lust, that they are refusing to get up and look at, if you see in the corner, the same light. That's you. The same light is shining in all of these dark pictures. Why? Because you are guiding yourself. Your light is guiding you. What did we say in the beginning of this? The moment of pause, the moment of reflection. So you spent your time in this cage. You spent your time mentally and emotionally anguished. And so Spirit is saying you're getting to that point of final push. So while you're still in this moment of pause, start looking toward the light instead of worrying about what was. Yeah, step into your power, step into this transformation. It is, and I love that transformation came out on this side, because here it's like the wise, he's giving wise, just sage, elder kind of energy, right? And so even if you are young, with this 9 of Wands coming out of reverse, with this 9 of Wands coming out of reverse, it definitely tells me that you've been through some things. Like I said, you've been through the thick of it. And with that being said, it has made you wise spiritually and emotionally. And you're stepping into this transformational period where this lion, that power, that strength within you, you're cultivating it, right? You're cultivating this wisdom that you gained into power, turning your pain and your passion into power. And this is a beautiful transformational period, right? You're releasing whatever heavy mask you were wearing or expected to wear, and you're transforming into the fairy, into the butterfly, into this new version of you who is lighter, more abundant, and more attractive to all of the things it is that you're looking for in your life at this point. So trust that. Lean into that. Move with that guidance, that awareness, that abundance, bottom of the deck energy, emotional withdrawal. Yeah, don't allow yourself to pull away from what is here for you now because of what wasn't here for you then. Rejoice in celebration, because there are people and energies. This is different hands, right? So there are going to be people who are sent in your life to help you rejoice, to help you celebrate, to help you get to a period of rejoice and celebration. So don't worry about the deception and the envy. That has been the message. If you like this video, share it with somebody you love. If you need anything from me, it's in the description box below. Don't forget to subscribe, join the team, join the tribe, and until next time, stay divine. Peace.